Let's design an outdoor bar stool because why not? Okay, the first thing I'm doing is saving the file. And the reason I'm doing this, and I don't always show this, you always want to do it at the very beginning in Fusion 360 because it starts the auto save feature. It starts kicking in. So always save your project first. And from there, I just select the plane that I'm going to be using and get right into it. And I am doing a construction line first on this one. I don't always do that, but it does help tremendously, again, for mirroring or anything along those lines. And I didn't do parametric modeling on this one because I didn't really think someone was going to want different size patio chairs, height and width on this particular design. It's a very specific design that I'm doing here, which is another thing here. When I go to extrude this, I couldn't really decide if I wanted to bring this out on the legs, like a 3-inch leg or like a 2-inch leg. So I kind of met in the middle there because I want to keep it kind of a simple looking patio chair, but I wanted one thing for sure on it, and that is a back, because sitting it, and these are more of a bar stool than I guess a patio chair. I probably should have said that at the beginning. Okay, so we're setting up the offset planes so that we can then set up, as I did there, the mid plane so that we can mirror all of these components. So the back legs are going to be copied up into the front. Now, I'm not going to have a bar stool, as you saw at the beginning, that has all 4 legs that are the same size. You're going to see a little bit here in the video how I go about getting the front legs shorter than the back. So what I'm doing here is setting the construction line to the height of the seat that I want. This way I can cut this material. So as you can see, I've changed the colors of the components. This is so helpful in this particular situation as an example because I need to hide the front legs of this bar stool so that I can draw in the supports uh, from behind them. I couldn't do that if it was in the way, so I can turn one off. I know that I turned off the right one because it has the correct color. Not only that, but you can see the correct color on the right, obviously with what I'm working at on the sketch, that is. And on the left, you can see it in the list, so you know which color you're working with by simply using this feature. And also this construction line, which I'm drawing across from the leg that is still turned on in the front. The construction line is going to serve two purposes. It's going to let me know where the leg height is supposed to be, and it's going to allow me to have something to tie constraints to for the locations of the seat supports, which I'm drawing in now, and I will use the construction line to make them collinear. So just a great feature, being able to turn the components into all different colors so that you can easily see which one you're working with. So once you have that sketch drawn in, you just extrude it to the object, which is the front leg, and those two will be at the correct length and perfectly matched up. Now, you may be wondering, if you're a woodworker, how am I going to attach these parts? I'm not going to use just wood glue and duct tape. I will probably use pocket screws, which is why you're not seeing like a mortise and tendon setup. Now, I may still change to a mortise and tendon connection for these joints, but I'm not doing it on this video, but I will do one in a future video if you're interested. The mortise and tendon joints used in woodworking can be easily added to, well, maybe not easily added, but once you learn how to do it, it's pretty simple, into Fusion 360. And also when you go to print your part, say you're using a CNC machine, the mortises and the tendons and everything will reflect that on your actual components on your material list that you can export. So another great feature of Fusion 360. It's just got a great way of putting those particular joints into your woodworking projects. And again, by using the construction planes, I can easily mirror the seat supports over on both sides, and I can add the ones in the front as well here in just a minute, which you will see here shortly. there you have it. So once you have all of those mirrored over to their correct locations, you can repeat the same process and do a construction plane and then an offset mid-plane as well to make the duplicate seat supports down for your footrest, which obviously saves a ton of time. So I'm basically setting the plane at the height that I want the foot rails to be placed, and I will duplicate the top seat supports right down to the bottom in just a click of a button, which will also populate on the left side for my component list for ordering wood and cutting wood the proper size. Just a great quick feature to use in Fusion 360 for woodworking. Now what I'm doing here is creating the angle for the back seat so that it's not completely uncomfortable and vertical. In lieu of taking a larger piece of wood and cutting it at an angle, what I'm doing is taking the solid piece of the back legs that are I think at 41 inches and using that material to cut through at the angle I want, which can easily be done on a table saw or miter saw, whatever you want to use for this. Probably a table saw, and achieve this angle so that you can put the back seat slats at an angle for a little bit more comfort. So that's what I'm doing here. I'm connecting these lines so that I can extrude them the opposite way to cut them out in lieu of joining them or creating an entire new component. Just one way of doing it I found to be the easiest. So there you have it. It's pretty easy. Now, it did leave some behind, as you can see at the top. Do not know how that happened. I thought I had clicked the very top of the material, but I guess I didn't. So I just simply, to save time, click on these and extrude them the opposite way to get rid of that material. Okay, so what I'm doing here is just getting the size that I think I want the slats to be, because I'm going to do a pattern on the path here with these 3/4 inch slats all the way to the top of the chair and bring it up a little bit, maybe an inch or an inch and a half, so that I can put another piece behind the top piece, if you will, on the seat back to make it appear from the side that the back legs are one solid piece going up to the top. You'll see, if you probably saw it at the very beginning of the video, the top had a little piece hanging over the back, but that's kind of what I'm doing. So it's a little bit of trial and error here to get these slats the right width, because it matters, because you do want a gap in between them, and you need enough material to go to the top. And I think that I had to redo this twice to get the right length or width on these slats. Okay, so that's done, and you're seeing now what I'm talking about. If you didn't understand it a minute ago, this will just simply give you a piece that appears to bring that top leg all the way just makes it look a little bit more beefy at the top, if you will. And you can join these two components together. The top seat piece and this one, I didn't do it here, but just for time. But you see how it's going to look, and I'll probably cut that top piece out of one solid piece of material in lieu of doing a separate little piece there on the back, because it would just probably separate or break off. All right, just designing the seat slats here and just using the constraint feature to make the lines collinear so they match up perfectly. And I believe I had the overall length wrong here. Yeah, 18 and a half. It should have been 18 and 3/4. And I caught that after I'd already done a pattern on path and moved these along where they were going. And I didn't have the overhang that I needed on the front side, so I had to redo these, which I think I left in the video, just so you can see how I did it and how I caught it. Okay, so here I'm just simply making a support slat for the bottom of the seat slats, and I would probably do two here, maybe, or I don't know, maybe one, who knows, but I would do two on the back for sure. And this is just to add support. It's not going to affect the cosmetics of the chair. Nobody's going to come look underneath your seat to see how it's supported unless you're a psycho woodworker at a barbecue, which has happened before. And the back ones, you can be creative to hide those, but it probably needs a little bit more support, definitely in the back, in case someone decides to lean back. And there you have it. All you do now is select a finish and send this rendering on its way to your client. See if they approve, give them a material list. They can make it themselves. They can buy the list from you, or you can give it away for free and show them what they're going to get. Or you can just make the chair for them. Anyway, hope you enjoyed. If you'd like to see more or have questions, leave me a comment and I will try my best to answer them. Thanks.